Good morning, everybody. It's 4th of July weekend. It's Monday. I had a great weekend. The weather was good. Did a lot of entertaining. Not me. I went out. Had a good time. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, love.
How are you, my friend?
Good morning. My throat is a little raspy for, we had a crazy 4th of July weekend, and it was a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, you love that. Like, you love cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
That's it. So
your voice is a little raspy?
Yeah, a little raspy. But you didn't wait. You missed one thing on your introduction. You didn't say what a great day it is.
It's a great day.
Listen, I got to listen to this. Every time we have a show, she gives me a wake-up call. I get about six wake-up calls.
Yeah, I didn't say that this morning.
So she goes, it's a beautiful, 99% of the time. Good morning, it's a beautiful day. And I'm like, ugh. And I just slammed the phone
I didn't
down.
say it today.
No,
huh?
you didn't say it today. So
yeah, I don't know.
You're slacking off.
I was trying to be nice to you because I'm in such a good mood. I didn't want to bother you. I know that bothers you.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
No, it doesn't bother me.
No.
Just calling me bothers me, waking me up
Yeah,
bothers
I know,
me.
because you don't call me back
say.
anymore.
Not what you say.
Now I have a new phone thing. Now everybody can
She's
call
got
me.
an excuse, guys. I
Look,
swear.
did you see that little thing I bought? It's great.
It's a Charger. She's got an excuse for everything.
But it's the truth.
Wow,
It really is.
It's the truth, I swear.
Well, the guy in the phone store on Nassau Boulevard is Adal, and he helped me again this morning, and 3 people let me go ahead of them because I said I have to go to the show, and they were all watching now. I made them do their phones while they were standing there online, and they were watching the show. So thank you, the people in the parking lot at the phone store.
Okay.
It's the truth. I swear to God,
always
it really
the truth. I
happens.
swear to you, it's always the truth.
It really
That's
happens.
a famous line. It's always
And
the
he
truth.
only charged me $20 cash because he knows that I do COD cash. I like cash.
Oh, yeah, we all know she loves cash. That's for sure.
So, well, we have two great guests today. We have Donna Morales. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And Terry Magro.
Thank you.
2 gorgeous women. Look at you. Oh, God.
Oh my God.
Really. You look great, both of you.
Thank you very
Good
much.
colors for the show. And I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
And there's a lot of things today that we're going to be talking about. But you're both raised and born Long Island?
I was born in Brooklyn, but raised in Long Island, yes, North
And
Belmore.
Terry, yeah.
I was born in Queens Village. And
Whoa,
moved
wait a
to,
second. We're in Queens Village. I have to stop. Where?
210th and 104th Avenue.
All right,
just
I was at
north of,
93rd and 207th Street.
just north of Jamaica Avenue, and
Okay.
then moved to New Hyde Park when I
Which-
was in 10th grade. That was quite a challenge.
That's moving on. That's
10th
moving on
grade.
up, all right. That's moving on
Well,
up.
that's
That's
fun.
changed, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
big
from New
change.
Hyde Park, you moved
To Hicksville when we got married. Yep.
And you live in Belmore?
I lived in North Belmore, yes. Raised in North Belmore since the age of 4 and a half, and lived there till I got married. And then moved back to Brooklyn and then back to Long Island again.
Yeah, well, everybody
full circle.
here is an I love Long Island. Then.
Yes?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. How do you say Long Island?
Long Island.
Yeah, you say it the
Say
right
Long
way.
Island, Long
How do you
Island.
say it,
Come on,
Terry?
how else are you
Island,
supposed
Yeah,
to say?
see, we say it the
You
right
guys
way.
say it wrong.
No, you're supposed to say Long Island.
Long
Long
Island.
Island.
And we drink coffee.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, and that's true. It's all true things.
So true.
But the first thing we do on the show is we break bread, and everybody gets Italian bread to take home and break with their family. That's a sign of friendship and love
Thank you.
and family.
Thank you so much.
So that's for you. And fortunately and unfortunately, I don't know how you feel, the second thing we do is drink.
That's right. You have a toast.
So let's have a toast.
How about margaritas and sangrias? Cheers.
There we go.
Cheers. Salud.
And look at that cheese on that bag. Is that unreal?
Oh, you got the wrong one. Oof. I can't drink margaritas.
Oh, no.
They'll kill me.
Love them.
Do you?
Oh, this is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are the kinds of drinks that
Oh,
you can
my
have at Cheese.
goodness.
Yes.
On Saturdays, Greg has open outside and a live band. And then
Nice.
soon the whole place will be open.
Yay.
And when we do these shows and we have performers, eventually, we'll
Yeah.
hang out later and people stay later on and
I love
have a
it.
drink on the way home from work.
Absolutely.
Thursdays we have the late edition, and that's where we have performers. And it's really unique. It's just,
Nice.
really great time we're having.
Excellent.
So West Hempstead.
Well, today, I'm sorry, I'm, of course, everybody knows I'm so cool.
Everybody
when it comes
knows
to
that
this.
we do that.
So today is National Fried Chicken Day. So that means get that cholesterol going,
Okay.
clog up the arteries, and which I love fried chicken.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
everything. So
Well,
Yeah.
Who does?
I know who doesn't. That's it. And then also, what do we have? We have
This is the
oh,
greatest.
That's right. It's International Kissing Day.
and there's a different kind of kissing, they're saying.
Well, because it's French kissing.
Right, well,
Right. The French decided
Well-
to make it, and that's what we did.
yes,
We
but
invented it, mastered
supposedly,
it,
in
and we made
Italy,
it a
listen,
day.
in Italy and Greece, people commonly kiss each other on the lips when greeting each other. But in France,
Right.
it's a cheek customary kiss. I learned a lot
See, I'm
about
French
this
and
today.
Italian. Look, my friend's Greek. The guy's always trying to kiss everybody in the lips. Has nothing to do with it, so.
I like the cheek, but that's me.
Yeah, sure you do. Would you see like this? Hi, Greg. That's a new cheek. That's the American cheek.
Now in Vietnam, kissing between spouses is only done in private. Okay? And in China and Japan, adapting a similar attitude, they're trying to say that's for private. So how do you like that? Did you guys know that?
No. I
This
don't
is
know.
this is what I learned every time I have a show. I learn something
That's
about
wonderful.
the day, and then I look into it to find out different things. So
There's no public displays of affection.
in China and Japan and,
It is
and
right.
Vietnam, although I think a lot of babies were born in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
In the service, don't you think, Greg?
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely. Oh, definitely.
But you know, it's interesting to find out all these things, and
Yeah.
now this month is June, so it's Cancer. You know, these astrology sign,
That's right. I'm a
Cancer.
kid. It's my birthday.
And his birthday's coming up, and there's a lot of things that the Cancer people have that are great, and there's a lot of things that they have that are not great. But again, we all have that, you know.
Exactly.
So, but the kissing thing was pretty interesting
That's
to me
cool.
because I didn't know that.
Okay. Let me get back to my phone.
Yeah, so how you doing? Yeah. So, we have a lot of, we just get into conversations about everything and nothing. And that's really what this show is about. Everything Long Island and Queens and anywhere else you come from, because we have people watching from all over now.
Yeah.
But it's also about nothing. Like, what'd you do yesterday? And was it funny? Or was it serious? Or was it horrible? Or was it good? But we try to focus on the good. Because,
That's right.
that's what we need
Absolutely.
right
It's all
now.
good.
And we focus
That's
on the
right.
community.
Exactly.
It's all good.
And that's really, really important today because it is what it is. We do have a special, I'm going to talk about one special day, and Greg will do the other two. My beautiful goddaughter, her name is Alyssa, and her boyfriend Steven got engaged last night.
Oh,
So, to
congratulations.
Alyssa and Steven,
Yeah.
congratulations.
All right. Congrats, congrats.
And this guy pulled a good one on me because I'm her godmother. So I said, I want to be involved when you give her the ring, blah, blah, blah. He said, you will be. I have it all planned. I said, I'll get you a photographer. He said, don't worry. Well, he did it without me. So they called me last night, but he had signs made in the backyard that said, will you marry me? He had her immediate family and his immediate family, and they were coming home with the groceries, and then he knelt in the backyard on his knee, pictures on Facebook, and he gave her the ring.
That's one. That's
So
wonderful.
they
so
called me,
sweet.
and I said, you pulled a fast one on me, but I'm so thrilled.
That's
So he really threw me off, which is hard to do, because I'm usually on top of things.
Yeah, she likes being on top. Oh, I'm not talking about like that. Why do you get, look, your minds always have to go in the gutter.
Goodness gracious.
Oh my God, it's like being on top. I like being on top of the mountain. Okay, that's what
Yeah, right, you're right, on top of the
Okay,
mountain.
my God.
So I'm so happy for them. I can't wait to go see her today and find out what are the details, when's the party,
yeah.
and when's the wedding.
And see the ring.
And I'm the
That's
godmother,
extremely
so.
exciting. Good
I'm-
for you.
my sister's passed away, and you know Maria, she was
Right.
part of the club.
Right.
And she's beaming, and my brother-in-law, her father, and my sister's husband is beaming. So I'm so happy for them. So Alyssa and Steven, congrats. That's special for them. We're very close. She's like another daughter to me, you know. So, and my daughter in Maryland was so happy yesterday. She called, and everybody got on the Facebook. Thank God. What did we do before we had all that?
I know.
Call each other on the phone.
I
You know,
know.
that was the best thing in the world. You knew that when the lights, went, turned on, you knew you had to run in, go inside to eat dinner.
Right.
And
Yes.
That's right.
it's really crazy where, I mean, the world I felt was so much better. All this media stuff,
I know,
I'm
but-
not crazy about it.
No, but
It
you know, it
scares you, it
is,
gets you know.
you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Well, you have to be a part of it.
If you're not, you're going down.
Yeah.
But I agree.
There you go, look.
The old
There we
days.
go.
You know something?
There you go, thank God nobody heard that.
You
I
have
said,
to.
if you're not part of the media thing, you're going down.
You will.
Okay,
Yeah.
see?
And I know
She
some-
woke up with, I'm sorry.
Oh, my goodness
I
gracious.
know, please, I'm so sorry.
That just clicked. Okay.
Get with the program, girl.
Oh, Valentina, come
Wow.
on.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
You gotta
That's all I'm
stay
gonna say.
on top, Valentina.
Oh, yeah, right
Stay
there,
on
and stop. That's her. Love staying on top.
It's all part of the show. Trust me, I'm so old fashioned.
Yeah, right.
You guys have no idea.
I told you.
Christian's blushing over there.
Oh, my God.
Well,
Wow.
before Greg gets involved in talking about birthdays, this is a book that I'd like everyone to know about, Stained Glass. Fabulous book by George Mizrachi. He was on the show last week. He's one of our sponsors today. And it's about a little town with lots of secrets and mafiosos. And this is his third book. And the same detective is part of each book he writes.
Nice.
And you can get it at Red Penguin Books and also on Amazon. George Mizrachi, Stained Glass. It's a fabulous book. Look at the cover, how
I
nice
love
it
the
is.
cover.
like
That's what
very
I'm
nice.
looking
Yeah.
at. I love the cover.
And he loved being here the other day, and he called me and he said, you know what, I want to sponsor the show today. So, great
Very
man.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, great
Nice.
man. So, thank you, George. So, how we doing
Okay.
there? Ready? So,
Yeah,
here-
we're ready to go.
your
Now we have
birthdays.
a birthday and an anniversary today. So, Anthony Balestra, happy birthday.
Yeah.
So I might throw, please forgive me.
Patricia's other son.
Patricia,
She's got
that's
so many
right.
sons that
That's
I can't
right.
keep up
That's
with.
Gorgeous
right.
sons,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Three
beautiful,
gorgeous sons.
beautiful, yeah. And happy anniversary to Christina and Christopher Box.
Yes.
How many years were they married? Do you have any idea?
7.
7? Okay.
Yeah. And they just bought a house, so very happy.
Really?
people.
Oh, congrats,
Yeah.
congrats.
In Baldwin. Yeah,
And
beautiful.
then you have a friend for the engagement party.
Yeah, we talked about
Oh,
it.
you did already? Look,
Yeah.
I'm not even good. Look at this. This is what happens.
Yeah, we did that already because you were
Okay.
busy doing all the stuff, which I didn't want to
Okay.
bother you.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right,
Other
so
than, so now let's talk, Donna. Talk to us.
yeah, Donna
Yeah.
Morales. She's in
That's it.
theater. She's in commercials.
Well, okay. What do you want to know? Ask.
Everything. Like,
Everything.
well, you told us you live in Belmore,
I lived in Belmore, yes.
and you were
I
born in
know-
Brooklyn.
I was born in Brooklyn.
Okay, let it tell her. He's born in Brooklyn. You live in Belmont. You
I
got
lived in Belmore, grew up there. I started at a very young age as, you know, every little girl goes to dancing school. So that was a way of my parents getting me involved at a very young age to make friends and socialize.
Which is great.
So I started dancing at the tender age of, let's say, 6 years old, 7 years old.
Good,
6,
good,
it was
good.
very early. And so I started my life in the performing arts at 6 years old because I have never stopped. I've taken
Wow.
breaks now and again, but I've never stopped. I was a dancer professionally and had my own studio when I lived in Brooklyn with my children. I opened my own studio because I always found a way back to the performing arts.
So that was your love.
That was my life, it still is. And I took a hiatus from the performing arts for, I'm not going to say 25 and a half years, because even when I was teaching for the New York City Department of Ed as a early childhood educator and administrator, I always found a way. I went into early childhood so that I can keep my love of the performing arts with me and share it
Drama,
with,
like.
with 4 and 5-year-olds, because I taught pre-K and kindergarten. I was part of the pre-K for all program under Mayor de Blasio, and I was both a teacher and an administrator for that
Terrific.
program. And I just recently retired 4 years ago from the Department of Ed. But although I was teaching, I got back into theater totally by accident. That's
Really?
how it happens, yes.
That's true.
I was in the gym and I was taking dance classes
Yeah,
because
well-
I always dance. So I was in the gym and I was taking cardio dance, and someone else who was part of the class, we make friends again, socializing. She had asked me, what, do you just do this? Do you just dance in the gyms? I said, no. I said, I do it for exercise, but I also do it because it's my number one love. And so she said, well, I do theater. I have for a theater group. And then I'm like, oh my. And it was Suffolk County. And she said, well, we're doing this production of Sweet Charity. And she goes, would you like to,
Terrific.
join
So what
it?
kind
I'm
of,
like, yes.
what kind of theater? What kind of
Musical theater.
music? Okay.
Musical theater.
So you
So
can
I
sing?
got my, yes. So,
Yes.
did you hear me
Oh,
before
sorry.
when you were testing my mic?
No,
That's the only way I know how to do a mic check. Is
Okay, I got you.
Okay, so that was part of it.
So
and then
that,
grew.
that was the springboard. I got the bug. And then I never stopped. So I started
You got the
doing-
bug, and that was it.
So not only did I work, but this was a great outlet for me because it was a great way to socialize, meet people, network.
And retire at the same time.
Yeah, and I've done theater across all of Long Island, Queens, New York. I've toured many tours with Plaza Theatrical Productions.
Yeah, that's a big one on
Very
Suffolk.
blessed to be part of the Plaza family since 2005, 2006.
We had a young girl. Her aunt works at runs the library here. She was on one of our things last year.
Yeah, I was part of, I still am part of the Plaza family. Unfortunately, COVID
Yeah.
came, and we would have been doing our summer tour of the parks here across the island and in New Jersey of Guys and Dolls, but it didn't happen.
But let's talk about this
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe thing
Oh,
you did.
Donna and Della. Okay. So I've expanded I've thrown my net, I've cast my performing net a little bit farther into both film, commercial, and TV. And I've been very blessed. Again, I got the bug for film in 2017. I just saw an open call on Facebook. That's how it's done. There are many open casting calls on Facebook. And I started joining theater groups, and I found an open casting call for a feature film called Marley. And it was an independent film. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. So I wrote back to the casting director, and I sent my headshot, my resume, and she sent me the script and said, send a self-tape. And I did. And I had no idea what a self-tape was, and I didn't even do, my first self-tape for that movie was not even close to what I'm doing now. With self-tapes, I've learned a lot.
See that?
I've learned a lot, but I got cast. I got cast as a supporting lead in that movie, and the rest.
And
is
it was a
history.
Marilyn Monroe knockoff?
No. This is how I started.
Started,
in film.
okay.
Yes, this is how I started my film. Started
Career.
Starting adding film to my performing arts resume.
Terrific.
Okay, because I don't just do one thing. I do it all now. I incorporate. I am involved in all of the performing
Different
arts.
types of things,
Exactly.
which is
Different
very
types of performing.
good.
So when I'm not doing film or TV, because it's difficult.
You have to
I'm
make a
doing
buck
theater.
here and there.
So
right.
I balance, because I'm a Libra and I have to balance things.
But that's good.
But, so I gained my first experience that way. So I started, like every performer, going on platforms. And you asked me before, how do you get these jobs? And I
yeah,
said,
because I might want to do this.
well, we submit.
Okay.
Well, you submit. You submit. There are several casting platforms out there in which actors submit. There's Actors Access. There's casting networks. There's Backstage, which every
everybody
actor and
knows.
everybody
Wants
knows.
that?
So
Nobody.
you subscribe
That's tough.
and you submit. You look at what's called breakdowns, and you submit to what
You want.
what you're fit for. You may want to do, a role where you're playing the ingenue, but you're not exactly in that age
Right.
band, right? So it's a business. I've learned that this is a business, and this is my business now. Acting has become my business.
That's
I've learned
terrific.
to brand myself. I'm using all social media I've incorporated that. And I didn't know. Again, I've learned a lot. I've turned my den into a self-tape studio. I've acquired all the equipment you need to do, because it is your business. You need to network and put yourself out and network with people in the biz, casting directors, managers, talent agents. Go taking classes. I'm in so many wonderful Facebook groups
That's terrific.
online. where it's such a, especially now during COVID, so supportive of each other. And,
Yeah.
and you know, and it's, when something happens to one person, it happens to all of us. We are all affected. It's not just happening to you, it's happening to every single one of us. And I'm going to bring up that, and then I'll get to Donna and Daryl's Pitbull Lounge.
Yeah.
I just want to say and give my condolences to the Cordero family, because Nick Cordero,
Yeah.
actor, musical theater, genius,
Yeah.
has passed after a very long fight. So I just want to
Horrible.
say, you know, may he rest in peace, and give my condolences to his family and to everyone who's feeling the loss today. So, getting to Donna and Daryl's Pitbull Lounge, I submitted on one of my platforms. Can't remember which one it was. May have been New York Castings, may have been Backstage. And casting director was a comedian. She's the writer, producer, and casting director. She wrote this play. It's actually a sketch comedy at Broadway Comedy Club. And I became very good friends with this woman. Her name is Beverly Bonner, and I hope she's listening. Beverly, I love you.
Yeah,
Beverly
you have to
gave me a
talk.
break.
I have to tell you, was it Poe Casamakis? Is it Poe? P-O-E? Casa. She can't hear you. She's really upset.
She can't hear
No,
me.
you just gotta talk
Can
louder.
you hear me
Yeah,
now?
just talk louder.
Make out
Oh,
with
I'm
that
talking.
Yeah,
I want
right.
to shout. Okay.
Yeah, she's like, what? She
Oh,
goes, I can't hear you.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better. There we
Oh,
go.
there you go. Okay, so
Can someone
Beverly-
explain why he says she's really getting upset?
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I don't want to upset anyone. So Beverly Bonner is a comedian actress, and she cast me in her sketch comedy, Donna and Daryl's Pitbull Lounge. And
That's interesting.
and I play opposite at the Broadway Comedy Club, and believe me, that was a big deal for me. I had
Sure.
never ever been Manhattan. All of you, I'm sure, are familiar
Yeah.
with Broadway Comedy Club. I was amazed the day I got the phone call. She looked at my material on my casting platform where I submitted, and she reached out to me and she said, "I want you to come and audition." I went down to the Broadway Comedy Club. She gave me her script. We did a cold read. I did a cold read opposite her, and 24 hours later, she's calling me on the phone saying, "You are my Daryl, and I'd love to offer you the part." And I was like,
That's
"Okay,
That's a great story.
I accept." And she's such a lovely woman. She's very creative, and we've just clicked. And I'm now collaborating with her as well.
Oh, that's
And I'm
terrific.
very honored to be in that show, and I can't wait to get back and grace the stage along with my castmates through Donna and Daryl's Pitbull Lounge. I've also, again, it's all about networking.
Yes.
That's how I met you.
Yes.
I've met wonderful artists.
She is the queen of networking.
Right, I've met
I
wonderful
know,
artists.
I was bad.
Yeah.
She just, oh my
That's
gosh.
how it's done. That's
It's
how
true.
it's done. It's not so much that you have to be the best actor or actress, but you just
You have to know
you need
people
to
and you
know-
gotta chat.
You need to know exactly, because it is a business and you're growing yourself in the business. So that's how I became Darylyn, and there are pictures on my Facebook page.
Yeah, which
and
they
on
can
Instagram
go
with
to
me,
Donna
like,
Morales
big
and
wig.
become a friend and see her pictures.
Yes, and you know, I love this because I have two daughters, and they are my biggest fans, and they champion me. And every time Mom is silly, my daughters are 33 and 36, and they come out and they champion me. They're in the front row, and they're like,
That's so nice.
yeah,
That's
that's
great.
my mom. Whether I'm doing a silly character in children's theater and or anything like this, or musical theater, they're always there, and they're always within the first 5 rows, and
That's terrific.
and it's for them.
So
It's for
now,
them.
lastly, is Jerry Ferretti.
Oh,
Because
yes.
we know Jerry,
Okay.
and we were at the film festival, and you're in a
Yes.
movie now.
Yes. And again, networking.
That's
It's
it.
all
That's
about
right.
the networking.
And Jerry is the
Yeah.
greatest. Jerry's selling a camper right now. If anybody needs a camper, send me your.
Yes, yes, he
Really?
is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He's
Selling
selling
a camper.
his
He
camper.
called me, of course.
He's
Website.
selling his camper. Okay, and so I did.
I don't mean to laugh, I'm sorry, but
Called me yesterday.
she
I'm like,
always being
"Listen,
on top, she got a camper, she got, no, I'm
hey,
sorry.
I might have a cell for him. I might have a buy you. Kurt Rankinsees, he might buy you.
Oh, funny.
I'm not
So,
gonna
the
touch that.
movie, what's the name of the
Okay,
movie?
so I met Jerry Ferretti.
We love Jerry.
Over a year ago. Again, I met him through just someone passed my card to him, my business card, as I gave you. Someone passed him my business card, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
And we are good friends. And I said, here, he called me up and said, I have a film, Essence, which is going to be premiering at the New York Long Island Film
And
Festival.
we'll be there. We have a table
please,
there.
which I am very proud to be a part of. I just started it last year, and I was just helping out. Now,
But I noticed
now
it's a very drama.
now I'm full on. Yes, I play Frances, the lead role. I play Frances, the lead role, and the mother of. I don't want to give it too much away because I want
Well,
you to come
tell
and
us
see
just a
it.
little, and then
Okay.
we'll move on.
I am Frances, the mother, a very doting mother, very over, I guess what you would
Bearing.
call them. Well, she has two children. She has a boy and she has a girl, and her adult daughter, got into an accident and is in a coma. But then she also has her son, and that's Jerry Ferretti, who plays opposite me. He plays my son.
Oh, Jerry, he's
He plays
Jerry's
my.
great.
Yeah, but he's 3 years younger than me, but he plays my son.
It's a lot of makeup right there. It's a lot of makeup.
I had to age up for this
Yeah,
role.
that's what
I
I'm
had
saying,
to
a lot of
grade my
makeup.
hair.
You look
But
great.
I had to age up. I literally grade my hair because I am a character
Yeah,
actress,
you,
so that's
you,
what
do
I
look,
do.
you do look older.
And
in the
that's
film.
what he
Yeah.
did. Well, that's I think one of the reasons why I was cast is because I think he did look at all of my materials, and I play all kinds of kooky characters.
That's great.
So I aged up. I went gray for the role, but then I also went younger because not only did I have to play an older mother, but I also had to, in flashback,
That's
play
great.
the younger mother of the daughter who is like 10 or 11 years old. So this was it was a very challenging role. It's near and dear. I love this project.
Yeah, you could see you're so
Um,
drama in it.
Thank you. You saw it.
Well,
so
little
what's it
clips.
in?
Jerry
Okay.
sometimes
Yes.
shows me little things.
It is by Ferretti. Jerry Ferretti is the director, writer, producer. Again, very good friend, and I owe him so much for just reaching out and having faith in me as an actress to give me that role.
And Donna, we
Thank you
straight to
so
you,
much.
Donna.
Thank you
Thanks
so
to
much.
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And as far as Nylif is concerned, which is the New York Long Island Film Festival, it's still a go.
Yeah, it's a go.
It's still a go. We
go.
are, and it's as long as, well, we still have to work within state guidelines. The
yeah, but
governor,
he's doing it. It's already planned.
it is planned, and
The
if it's
theater's
not,
gonna be
if
open.
it's not happening at the seafood, listen to me.
The Seaford
You're
Cinema.
making me drink. Look what's happening.
Seaford Cinema.
The Seaford Cinema, not the Seafood Cinema. So it will be happening there in mid to late October.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't happen there, we are scouting other venues.
Yes.
And we're making it happen.
It's
So
gonna
get your
happen.
entries in. Filmmakers, student films,
Yes,
get your
get your
entries in. We
films.
are, and we have surpassed.
Right. And you can send it to me and I can send it to Jerry because this book is going to be the main feature of the film
Wonderful.
festival
Wonderful.
on the
That's
screen.
right. That's
Wonderful.
right.
So
Wonderful.
let's move on. Who do we
Okay.
have? What's
So
going
before we
on?
have to, here we go again. Who do we have?
Who do we have?
Who do we have?
We have you. We have you. Look at how cute you look
Okay.
today. Look at you.
Okay.
God.
Anyway, I got to give some quick shout outs. Listen, I got to tell you, today I'm really, really happy because there's a lot more viewers than expected. So if I do miss your name, I'm really, really sorry. George, I got to start off with you, George Whiting.
George.
I love you, brother. I really do. He's my amiga brother. Jenny A, Jenny C, Susan, Rosemary, I'm sorry, my voice again. Kevin Campus, Susan, Patricia. Wow. So we have Scott. And now I'm trying to go from phone to phone. I forgot. Diane asked me, why am I on the phone? Well, Diane, I'm the only one that can
He
do this,
has to
okay?
be.
So I have to be. It's not by choice, okay?
He has to be because I can't do
Yeah,
it.
she goes, Greg, get off here. And she puts a picture of the phone. Thank you, Diane. Appreciate it. Mark Levy, how you doing? Robert, we have Susan. Susan, we had a great time the other day. David Langa, Michael, Kathy, oh, you know how much we love you to death. Joe D'Amato, Donna, we have, wait a second, Nancy, I'm so sorry. How are you, sweetie? Phil, we missed you. I hope you had a great 4th of July.
Yes.
We have Josh, Tamir, Faustino, we have, oh, wait, let me go, I'm sorry. Yeah, we have Michael, Tiffany, Seth, how are you, babe? And I hate that when I have to stop, it makes it that much longer. So I just,
He has to keep
Tisha,
going.
Tisha, Judy, Carmen, Bella, Josh, Rachel, and Valerie. You know how much I love you, Valerie Mack.
Please.
The best customer service rep
Valerie.
in the world.
You know, Valerie, I'm
Okay.
getting tired of hearing your
I
name.
realize. Yeah, so now we have to go to Terry.
Terry Magro.
You have to tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. Thanks. This is really
Thank you
fun.
for
I'm
coming.
really having
You look
a great
beautiful. Love
time.
your hairdo.
Thanks.
Love the
thanks,
do.
Auntie. It's great. I'm so glad that we were finally able to catch up and to get together and to get here. So, well, I'll start with where I was born because we did that before. But I was born in Queens Village and was there. I went through 8 years of Catholic school and then moved to New Hyde Park, and I went to Great Neck South in 10th grade. So I was like, this is not the easiest transition in 10th grade.
No, it's
moving
hard.
And,
Yeah.
and starting all over again. But my maiden name is Combati. So
Combative, you're
I'm a
Italiano.
fighter.
Yeah, combative. Okay.
Combative, right?
You're a fighter,
So
you're
I
a
was
fighter.
like, I'm a fighter, I can get through this. We'll just do really well. And I would tell my father sometimes, I said, I'll just take the bus and go back into Queens because that's what I knew best. But you know what? We had a great time at Great Neck South. And then I started my college was Malloy. I went to Malloy College,
which is
for,
wonderful.
a
That's a great
nursing,
college.
undergraduate nursing degree.
Terrific.
And I worked at St. Francis Hospital in Roslyn for almost 10 years. And they put me through graduate school, which was great. So I truly appreciate that. And then from there, I started teaching in an undergrad program at Adelphi in nursing, and I worked as a clinical nurse specialist. So I had a diversified. Nursing is a great field because there's so much that you can do. I was always with adults, and it was adult surgery, so I absolutely loved it. And then I had an opportunity from a good friend of mine, Dan Fardella, who was a respiratory therapist I worked with at St. Francis. He said, you should get into sales. You would be great. I'm starting a durable medical equipment company, and I'd love to have you come over. At that time, you were able to do home care nursing from a DME, and there was less regulation. So
Right.
we're going back into the early 80s. So I said, I don't know, it's a little unnerving, but you know what, I'm going to give this a shot because what's the worst that could happen? I could always go back to clinical, so that was okay.
Yeah.
And now I had weekends off, that was the attraction, weekends off and holidays off. So, working every other holiday, it gets tiresome. It's kind of 26 weekends. So
Yeah.
I decided, what, Dan, I'm going to give this a shot. Well, let me tell you, he was a phenomenal mentor, a great salesman, and taught me so much. And he said, you can sell anything, so just get out there and be you. And selling medical equipment was fabulous because being a nurse, I was able to relate to a lot of things and able to tell them the good and the bad. So that career developed, and I went to a few different companies and just ended up at Liberty Medical, which was then bought. And then there was lots of changes in the industry, and I went back to NYU. Well, it was Winthrop at the time.
Right,
Now
and that's
it's
where you've been there for so many years,
And I
right?
was there 7 years, and I just retired on June 26th.
Woohoo!
Congrats.
Congratulations, she's
Thank you.
retired.
Thanks, yes, thank
Now
you.
you're
Gotta
gonna
drink.
have-
Now you can drink. Okay?
Now you
Now
can
can
drink,
All right.
and you can drink for breakfast.
And I could drink for breakfast.
Now wait a second. You worked there for how long were you at St. Francis?
St. Francis, I was there about 9.5
By any
years.
chance would you happen to know Dr. Sayaski?
Sayaski, no.
He was
Swirsky I
no.
know, but not
No.
Sayaski.
That's his
No.
man.
That's
Oh.
Daniel. Yeah, he's
No,
the best in the world.
no.
Anesthesiologist.
Okay.
Anesthesiologist. That's
Yeah.
right.
So it was, it was a great career path for me. I loved sales. Once I got into it, that was it. I knew this was something for me because it was a lot of networking, and you got out there and you spoke to a lot of people. So as we've said many times, networking is really the key.
It's the key of life.
So you
And
just
happiness in
keep
business.
growing it and grow your your own network
Gee.
is fabulous.
Right.
And, I always say you meet people for a reason, and nobody comes into your life just
Right.
Because
there's a reason.
sort of like why I met him and the cleaners.
Right.
At the cleaners. There you go. So you meet,
I got my
and-
clothes and a flyer down my throat. That's what I got.
I met
You
him
better
in the
come
dry
and- That's
cleaners.
it. That's it. Yeah.
And that's so
He
true.
looked very nice that day.
Because
When do I ever not look nice?
You always look nice,
I love
but
this one.
yeah, you look nice. But I like a man dressed in nice clothes, and you always look
Yeah.
nice.
But that day I look nice.
That day you looked extra.
Okay. Okay.
there you go.
That's what she says. I love being on top of the mountain. Okay?
We're bringing it home.
There we
We're
go.
bringing it
Hey.
home. So it's so true. I mean, that's a great story because you never know where you're going to meet people.
Right.
You're standing online talking to somebody, and I talk to everybody. My husband says if I leave you for 5 minutes, you'll know what the whole room does.
Yes,
And,
exactly,
and
but
it's
that's
really-
a gift.
it's
But that's
really-
great, though. I'm being honest with you. It really
It's
is.
really fun, you know, and I just love learning about people.
Right.
And so that sales and personality piece of me really grew
Yes.
in all of
And that's
this.
how you grew your foundation, because
And
of who
that's-
you
yeah,
are.
So I got married in 1983, and my husband Paul is a chef, and he went between restaurants and off-premise catering. And we were talking before, Valentina, about did we own a restaurant? No, we never got that far, but he absolutely loved what he
And
did.
he's a smiler, your husband.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. So we were married in 83, and in 1990, we decided, okay, enough of this trying to find this restaurant. We're just going to start a family because, you know, Terry's clock was starting to tick, right?
Right, you were getting up
Oh, there
there.
we go. I heard that before. Okay.
So in 1990, my son Michael was born, and then 2.5 years later, Mark was born. And Paul at that point had decided that the restaurants, you're there, you know, especially at that time, you were there 70, 80 hours. He was the executive chef. So you're there prepping and this and the orders and what have you, and then lunch and dinner. So he transitioned out of the restaurants and does it, you know, he's doing a lot of consulting, but he went into teaching culinary arts. And he's got a great gift for that. His mind is very scientific, so he was so good at being able to teach these kids and get them to understand. Nassau BOCES, Barry Tech BOCES is 11th and 12th graders from all the school districts in
Which is
Nassau County.
it's great for those kids. My
So
grandson is learning how
Yeah,
to
and a nurse that I
culinary.
worked with at St. Francis, Mary's husband, was a cosmetology teacher there. So they have many, many programs, and he was the one that got Paul interested in it. So that was great because he was there when the boys were young, and he was there to see a lot of them growing up. It wasn't like his father and my father that were in the medical field and worked
It was
late
different,
hours. It
right.
was very different.
More social.
One of the jobs I had in sales, I traveled a lot. So he was always there, and you know, my parents were great helps and stuff. And then, you know, things changed, right?
Yeah.
So in 2004, my son Mark, who's now 27, he was 11 at the time, was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. So now this came out of the clear blue sky because,
Sure.
you know, unfortunately, a lot of these cancer diagnoses, there's no etiology is unknown. There's nothing. It just, boom, it's there. And I see it every day with the work that I do now. So we were in cancer treatment at the Cancer Center for Kids at Winthrop University Hospital, and Mark did really did well. I mean, it was a very rough course, believe me.
I know that.
Of many chemo treatments and 39 radiation treatments and what have you. He was coming towards the close of his treatment course when Michael, who was 13 and in 7th grade, presented with a cough and just wasn't feeling good. Brought him to the pediatrician. They said he had pneumonia. He didn't respond to the medication for the pneumonia, so we did further testing, and this was in 2 weeks' time frame. He was diagnosed with leukemia. So Mark was diagnosed in March of 2004, and Michael in June rather. Unfortunately, you know, you try, but he had a very aggressive cell. He was in an age group where his hormones, you know, he was 13 and a half.
Yes.
So that puts you in risk groups depending on a lot of variables. Michael passed away in July 30th of 2004. So Mark was finishing radiation and Mike was on a
You
bed,
went through a lot.
and then he passed away. So
So sorry.
you know, now, you know, you're left with, oh my God, where do I go from here? What do I do? So, you know, I'm just like, I had to go into top gear, and I had to really just fall into something that I knew I could help people because
Exactly.
that's my personality
Absolutely.
as a nurse. And I said, you know what, Paul? We've walked down this path now with these 2 kids. We've met a lot of families. There's a lot of struggles out there. You know, everybody says health insurance pays for everything. Well, health
Not
insurance doesn't pay for everything.
That's right,
Exactly.
that's right.
And going back to 2004, your premiums and your deductibles were a lot less and more powerful. Today, there's very high deductibles, and you may be on the hook for, you know, 6,000 or 7,000 out of pocket.
Definitely.
Before your insurance kicks in, so not a lot of families
It's true. That's
have
one thing I
that.
didn't like. I had to go for back surgery, and they said to me, well, your deductible, the hospital called me and said you have to pay $500 before you even come in to get tested.
Which is
And I
BS.
was upset about that. I mean, I did it because I needed it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'll try and fight it, but it's, I mean,
No, you can't.
it's, yeah,
It is
I
what
know,
it
I
is.
know.
You can't fight it, but if you don't, if
Sure.
you
But
say
try
you can't
sometimes.
afford
know
it,
what?
you don't have to pay
I
it.
gotta tell you something.
But
The reason why I say, I'm one of those type of guys, I just pay it. I don't want to argue. But there's an incident. This is why I always, I love Valerie. The sales guy told me something that wasn't true. Promised me the world. Okay?
The insurance.
All of a sudden, no, this isn't for something. I'm just giving an example. And they said, oh, you can't fight it, you just got to pay it. The guy kind of sneaked me into a leasing thing. And I said to him, listen, I didn't want to pay any fees. It had to do with the computers and stuff like that. So all of a sudden this went out, but then all of a sudden I see all these fees, so now I wanted to stop. And I said to him, listen, look, you promised me 50,000 things, you didn't deliver anything. So he goes, well, all right, there's nothing I can do. So just don't worry about it. That's what he says to me. All of a sudden I get a letter from the leasing. And I said, but I thought I wasn't leasing any of this. Well, Valerie was the one that's been helping me throughout this whole process. And you know what?
Valerie.
Because people, yeah, you know what it is? And I would have never fought it. I would have said, you know what? It is what it is. I have to pay it. But sometimes that's, you know, even though you're saying that, you know, there's nothing you can do. Well, Valerie was really happy because she really,
Helped you out.
she really did. Where most of the time, whenever any kind of leasing company, whatever they call, they threaten you, that this and that.
Right.
So to me, I don't want to fight. I don't want to argue. I just pay.
Yeah.
And
Well, I don't
she
pay.
was the
So
one.
sometimes
Yeah.
it's worth it to
I don't
fight.
pay.
Yeah, sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes,
it really,
you know,
it really
sometimes.
is, yeah, yeah.
I teach people not to pay. Because for the right reason.
Yeah.
Not if you don't deserve it, then you don't deserve it.
Right.
And
But if-
that's
if
what we do.
that's
We do
part
that
of
in the
it,
club
yeah.
too.
Right,
You-
exactly.
You have a problem in your
exactly.
refrigerator and they didn't do the right thing, call the club.
Yeah.
We'll help you.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, we do everything.
And it's true. I mean,
wonderful.
even because of her, she's like, everything is, no, don't let them get away with it. Don't let them get away with it.
Yeah, it's
So-
like, shame on
It's
you.
true, yeah.
But it's not,
Yeah.
but it is.
Well, it's true. There's a lot of validity to that, and there are a lot of insurance payments that are denied, and you do have to go back and fight for
Right,
those.
which I'm sure you had to
Right.
do that a lot with your
Deductibles are
son.
deductibles, but there are different things, and sometimes it's a coding issue. They reverse the
Right.
number.
Or the girl that's
and-
doing it did it wrong.
And the girl that did it wrong didn't
Or
put,
man.
Right, didn't put the right information in.
Right.
And so then you go back and you will find, but don't pay anything if you don't believe that bill is correct.
So let's talk about the foundation,
So-
where you are and, what
So
you
we,
do.
we decided, after that, we incorporated as a 501c in 2005, and Michael Magro Foundation. And our goal and our mission was to help the families of children diagnosed with cancer and other chronic illnesses. Because again, as we were walking through this journey, you realize it's outside of insurance, it's your phone bill, your electric bill.
Right, the simple
your
things.
parking.
Right.
Parking can cost, hundreds
At the
and
hospitals,
hundreds of
unless you know
dollars.
somebody.
Right. And driving to the hospital. So we have a whole gift card program, and we
Which is
offset.
fabulous.
So we work with the social workers and child life specialists and the clinical people to identify the families.
Which is great.
at
It's
the
not going
hospitals.
where you don't know where it's
No,
going.
we know exactly where it's going.
Yeah.
And then we'll say to them, please send me the mortgage statement, please send me
Right.
the
And you
PSCG.
pay the bill
And we
directly.
pay the bill
See, that's
direct.
great. See, well, this is, I'm on the board of directors for Pediatric Lyme in Kiwanis. And that's exactly it. We give you grants, so you provide us the bill, and then we pay the
You
bill.
Which
pay
is
the
the
bill.
best
Right.
thing.
And it's really,
Right.
it is the best way to do it.
It really
Yeah.
is, because, if you're having problem, and, maybe you were a two-family income, and now somebody has to
Right.
take a leave of absence to have a child going through this cancer treatment course, now your income has gone down, and exponentially, your bills have all gone up.
Right.
And they're piling up.
And
That's
everybody
sure.
goes through it, even with, my husband had diabetes, but he was out of work for 4 years.
Yes.
And so I learned about all this the hard way,
Yes.
but I did learn.
Yeah,
That's
so
it. She learned to give him more candy and to get the guy, until the guy, God rest his soul, passed away. I
Yeah,
love
right,
you.
he died.
I'm teasing, I'm
Yeah,
teasing.
no, he was a good guy, but in the end, there's so many seniors and regular people that
Yes.
don't know how to contact the right people.
Correct.
And unfortunately, there's not enough workers in the town, in the
Right.
county. So we help them, they help us. We work
Exactly.
together with the county and the town.
Exactly.
And, you know, we all get along great. So,
That's the name of the game, and you have to get back out there and be positive. You can't put yourself under
Yeah.
a rock, I feel.
Yeah, no, Jennifer just said, she goes, I broke my wrist, and out of pocket, she had to pay $5,000.
There you go.
so there's an
There you go.
example.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So you have a big thing coming up, don't you?
So,
Greg and I are coming. He doesn't know it yet.
the golf outing,
Sure.
the golf outing, we moved it from June to September 30th, and that's going to be at Cold Spring Country Club. So our website is michaelmagrofoundation.com. And everything is up on that. We have a car show that's coming up, and that's also
And
at
that's
Cold
Tom
Spring.
Galati, right?
And that's Tom Galati,
Which we know him very well.
Right.
Yes.
Tom
I
is
worked with Tom at
phenomenal.
CMP.
Absolutely phenomenal
Great
guy.
guy.
He's been on my board for quite a few years, and he grew up across the street from me. So I knew Tom when he was in elementary school.
In Queens Village?
No, in Hicksville, where I am now. So my
Well,
boys
hello,
went to
Tom. We
Woodland.
miss you.
What's up, Tom? How are you, buddy?
Yeah.
Tom's great. And
So
we have a
she-
lot of CMP stories. Him and I.
Oh, we always have a lot of laughs with Tom.
Oh, yeah.
So Tom and Larry Risi run the car show for us, and that is great. So, you know, nonprofits today are in a tough spot
Yes.
because they're all trying to keep the mission going and
Yes.
be able to help, but the fundraising efforts have
Help.
gone down a
Right,
little bit
yeah.
because of all the things
Can't
that
get
need to
together.
be canceled. So you have to be creative, and you do things online, and you know there's many other ways to do it.
Absolutely.
And we have a grant writer. If anybody knows Tammy Severino, she's
Oh,
fabulous. Tammy.
She was on our show in our
At the
other
other place.
studio.
At the other
Oh
place,
my
yeah.
God! So Tammy is great.
She's terrific.
and she does a lot of my writing
Small
in
world.
general, and then the grant writing.
That's great.
So
Well,
we
you
have,
know her daughter, right? The cook.
Oh,
she's
sure. Oh, my
she's
God.
the youngest
The baking that
teenage
she's
cook.
doing.
Remember
That's
the
right. I
baker?
remember, yeah, I remember, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
she's a
God, those
sweetheart.
cupcakes and those pictures. I'm a dessert
cookies.
person.
The cookies.
Oh
Cookies.
my
I'm a
God.
cookie,
They all
monster.
look.
I didn't realize that you were connected to Tammy.
Yes,
Yeah, she's
yes.
adorable.
I met Tammy at a Jeff Weiner lunch.
Oh, Jeff Weiner.
So Jeff
The
is
Breakfast Club honored his wife
Jeff is a
15
great-
years ago.
Jeff is a great supporter of,
Yeah,
of
he's
the
a doll.
foundation. Rob Zabia, Zabia's very
love him
good.
too.
Alan Schwartz. Yeah, we have some great people.
Well, you got great people behind you.
Great
Yeah,
people,
definitely.
and it's really what I find is we all keep in touch with one another, and it's not just reaching out to people to say, you know, please donate.
No.
It's reaching out to
Get
say,
together.
this is what we're doing, let's brainstorm, and you come up with ideas out of the box from so many different people. And I try in particular to really engage younger people, whether it's a community service
We
they're
need the
doing
young people.
for
That's right.
confirmation or college or whatever. Bar mitzvah. We've had many mitzvahs where people have donated the funds that they received or toys, and then we bring those to
How
all the
nice.
hospitals.
That's really, really
It's
nice.
really great. You
Every,
do great work,
every
Terry.
July and August, thank you, we do a school supply drive. So
Right.
hopefully, you know, we're going back and
Definitely
we'll
keep
need
us
the
in- keep us
school
informed.
supply.
And,
Yeah, yeah.
We can,
Well,
you
we'd like-
know, we can always help you.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
And
I
you
know,
could
I
have an
know.
event here someday.
Yeah, this is a great, I was saying when I got here, I never knew this place was
beautiful.
even
Well,
here.
I was
thanks
get-
to
I
Greg.
was, I was
So-
getting ready to turn on the disco lights, and
Yeah.
we're going to start dancing.
But
Yeah,
didn't he,
let's
can you
go.
believe what he
Yeah,
did?
let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
But you see,
That's
this
it.
wasn't here before. He did this for the studio, which I thought was so
Wow,
nice.
how nice.
Nice.
No, it's really.
When I
it's
saw it, I
really,
was
really
blown
nice.
away.
Very, very.
He's
nice.
really very nice.
and a good dresser.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank
he's a
you.
great
I love
dresser.
you. You appreciate a well-dressed man.
Yeah, you see, we're all in the same boat here.
Yeah.
We like well-dressed men.
Yes,
Yes, we
there you
do.
go.
And we're non-behaved women, because
That's
non-behaved
it.
women make things happen.
That's
We
right.
do
Right?
make
Yes, we
things
do.
happen.
Oh,
let me tell
yes.
you.
We shake
But
it
I
up.
wanted to, before I forget, because we're coming to the end of the
Okay.
show, I wanted to thank DJ Cliff Fernandez. The other day we had a 4th of July party, and people came from the Bronx, from Brooklyn, from Queens, and I got to say, guys, thank you so much, Cliff. I couldn't have did it without you.
Yeah, and it was
He's
great.
really- it was great. We had a great time.
And we matched.
And-
We had the
yeah,
same color,
yeah,
same
that's
shirt
it.
and hat on. I don't know how we did it. We
Yeah.
didn't
You
plan
didn't
it.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
So I just wanted to say thank you,
Great
Cliff, for
minds.
so much. It's true, great minds do think alike. So I want to say thank you so much. Thank you for everybody for coming out. Guys, we have to thank our sponsors right now.
Yes, okay, there you
So we
go.
have Adam Welsh, of course, for Superior Resurfacing. Adam, I got to tell you, change the damn name. It's a pain in the ass. It's like a tongue twister for me.
Yeah, really,
It
Adam.
is.
Bathrooms,
Yeah,
just do
it's
something
a
with
bathroom, all right?
bathrooms.
Really, you're killing me, buddy. All right, so if you ever want to get a hold of Adam, it's 248-8515. Then we have Paulie Puccio.
We call him Honeydew, Honeydew this,
he
Honeydew
does
that.
everything.
He's
Anything you
fabulous.
need- Anything you need around
And
the
he'll
house.
do anything in your
Right,
house.
right,
It's
right.
like a Mr. Fix-It and a Rent-A-Husband.
Right, exactly. And he doesn't like being on top of the mountain.
I saw him at the party the other night and I met his great brother.
Yeah.
His brother's a dog.
Watch out, brother.
He's so sweet. They look alike.
516-667-4253. And then we have Tranquility Spa on 700 Franklin Avenue.
Down the block.
Down the block. You definitely have to go. It's such a great, great place. Relaxation. They massage you. They rub you. They beat you.
gotta
they
go
step
there.
on you.
I'll give you a
No,
coupon.
it's a great
I think
place.
I
It
did.
really, really
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And then, of course,
Of course,
Stephanie.
yes, and we have the Red Penguin publisher.
That's
You
right.
want to write a book? Call
That's right.
Valentina. I'll get you going.
That's it.
He did, and look at his book.
That's right.
Okay? So call Valentina and buy stained glass. It's fabulous.
That's right. And then Oro Puro, Teddy. My favorite. Teddy and Christina, how are you guys?
And look at this.
Anytime.
Another necklace he
She's
gave
like-
me. Look at
really?
this. Isn't that beautiful?
She just wants me to feel.
No,
the
I
necklace.
don't. He just gave me this one. I was there Saturday.
really?
He gave me this. He's
I think I
amazing.
swear to you.
Oh, Teddy?
Yeah, Teddy.
You know Teddy?
Teddy, yeah.
Well, do you tell him that you're part of this?
kidding
I
me?
haven't seen him in ages.
He
He's
looks great.
He does. He really does.
But I bought my
He was-
Movado from him.
Did
Yeah, this is what he gave me.
I got to tell you,
I love
such a
it.
worry. I got to tell you,
Gorgeous.
he wasn't well.
Yeah, he
And,
wasn't.
and you know what? I got to tell you, it was horrible. I mean, he's
Yeah,
like a
he's
brother.
all right now.
And so thank God he's okay and he's back up and running. So anytime you want jewelry for any need,
Right, and
anytime,
make sure
whatever
when
it
you
is,
go there, you tell him you
just
saw it
mention
on the show because he's a
Okay.
big sponsor.
Wow.
Donna, Terry, I want to say thank you so much.
You guys
for
are
being
great.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
Listen, you get a present too.
Yeah, thank
Here
you.
you go. Everybody gets cookies.
Ah,
Right to
Okay.
my sweet tooth. Oh,
And
look at
Greg,
this.
I got something for you
Oh,
today.
yes, love.
Do you know what this is? Do you know what they're called?
A certain kind of a ring?
No.
A
They're called-
rubber.
This is, I just found it out.
Rubber bands,
No, they're called buddies. You're my buddy now,
right?
so you get one.
Oh,
It's called a buddy.
are you joking or not?
No, it's called. I just bought
Is this
them.
like laced with something? Then I'm gonna feel
No,
it
so
later?
you guys are my buddies today,
Oh,
Thank
and
you.
you too,
oh, the colors are
and you
great.
can
I
give
love
them to your
the colors.
grandchildren or
And
whatever.
purple is, well, see, you didn't give me the purple one. It's okay.
Oh, all right.
Purple
These
is
are
my
for you to
favorite
give
color.
to
I
your
like
Want
friends.
to trade?
Those are for you to give to your friends.
Thank you.
You know
Thank
something?
you.
And-
I like green. If you don't,
I'll switch.
gonna fight over the
Right.
damn
Right.
buddies?
You kidding me?
There we go.
Thank you, love. Go ahead.
Thank you.
I know you don't believe me, but look,
Thank you.
they're called
And look-
buddy.
I do.
And it was.
Buddy bands.
That's cute.
Is that hysterical? I like this company.
Thank you.
But last
So
before,
Saba, wait, I didn't say goodbye to
Saba.
Saba. Wade, thank you so much. I only have just a couple of quick ones. Jonathan, Christy, Wade, I love you to death. Gina, Julie, wow, Chris, and Sid and Nettie and Deborah.
Come on,
Very
come on.
nice that I'm very happy that you're watching. Jonathan, Teresa, Mario, Henny, Michael, Johnny,
Can't believe it.
Megan, Raymond, and Lex and Jesse and Anthony, and there's like a few more, but we won't have enough time. Peter and Sherry. So guys, thank you so much for
and be-
watching.
before
And-
we end, I just want to say thank you to Casariano. They're going to come on the show.
Oh,
I was
really?
there last
Okay.
night.
Oh, good, good,
And
good,
Eddie
good.
says is singing there on Sunday of next week and Thursday. It's in Westbury on Jericho. They're going to be a sponsor.
All right.
And the food is fabulous.
Wow.
So on that note,
All right, now it's a
wrap.